welcome back to Unreal Life, and today I'm going to do a review of FLAST itself. We've done some reviews of some of the cases that FLAST has covered, but let's have a look at what FLAST is all about. So first thing you're going to see here when you get onto the landing page is welcome to Family Law Australia Support and Training, and this company does just that. It provides support and training for people who are going through family law matters, and the nature of the support and training is ranges from providing information like current cases and what the outcomes are, so people can get a feel for how the court looks at the legislation, how the court looks at certain facts. And after a while, because we try and publish these daily, after a while you'll get to see a number of cases that have similar facts to what you might be going through, and you can have a look for yourself. How was the court examine the facts, what things went right, what things went wrong, and look at those court decisions. Okay, so let's just have a look around at some of the features now of the FLAST platform. So you can familiarize yourself with why we think this is so great for anyone who is involved with family law matters. You can click on people, and that will provide you access to information about who the members are who are participating in FLAST, and this area is restricted to people only with certain levels of viewing security. So not even lawyers can see who the members are, for example. So we try and put a little bit of a layer there that no one can really go and have a look for who's here, just for the security of the members. Continuing to look, so the people area is only accessible by certain levels of security within FLAST. So that way, when you join FLAST, we ask you to join with your real identity. We need to know who you are, and depending on what information you provide us, will increase your level of accessibility through the FLAST network. So basically, it's free to join, and you can have a look at the information that we publish each day and have a look at the court digest. That costs you nothing. It's free to join. And then if you want to get more involved in FLAST as a community, first of all, because it is a community building platform that we have here. It's not just providing a service to our members, but we are actually actively building a community. And in this community, we have discussion channels. And what channels are is specific types of information that people tend to look for when trying to navigate through family law matters. So here we have beauty and coaching, and an entrepreneur. And okay, I've got to explain that, because we're just talking about the law here, and where does that come from? Okay, we have proudly associated ourselves with Summer Fox, and you would have watched our previous video where we've done a joint review and interview together. So have a look at that, because she's amazing, and what she does as well, as a person, she has had real challenges in the family law system, and she has chosen to rise above those challenges, and has become a very passionate advocate. And her passion lies in that she wants to be able to empower women who want to try and improve themselves and have a better lifestyle, or how they can they themselves can recreate the lifestyle that they want to live. So really fantastic person, and so she's involved in FLAST, in one of our support groups, and some of the things that she talks about is an entrepreneur, coaching, beauty, and those kinds of things. So other subjects are more law related, so child support, breaches of court orders, recovery orders, costs orders, jurisdiction. So all of these channels are channels where, you know, the if you join FLAST, you can actually just click on follow that channel, and whenever we publish new information that relates to that particular issue, you know, you might be interested in breaches of court orders. So if that becomes an issue in a digest that we publish, then you get notification. Hey, there's a new case on that subject. That, you know, relates to you. So you have to think about the value of that when we're doing this every day and publishing this. And a lot of our members don't even know. This is why you see only 6 followers and so few followers. And if you're a member of one of our groups, you know some of the groups associated with FLAST have 3,500 members there, and many of them are part of this community here, but they might not even be aware of this feature of FLAST, where they can actually register and be informed of any changes that occur in the area of law that is you know, specific to their case. Aside from channels, we have a discussion area. Now, this I'm not going to click into because the discussion area is a restricted area. It is for members only, and you know, once you're a member, you're able to engage in discussions with other members who are experienced in family law matters, who are also have gone through, you know, the same sort of issues or similar issues to what you might be, and you know, these members are here as a community. And as part of our you know, Facebook groups, which now, I guess, overall we have probably about 8,000 members spread across the various groups that we're directly associated with, and indirectly easily double that. So, but a lot of people aren't, you know, this, you might be a member there, but you don't have access here, because this area is really for direct discussions where the people who are responding are people who have already been there, done that, gone through what you're going through, or might be lawyers who are members of FLAST, because we have many lawyer members, or they might be law students who have joined as a free member. And you know, in the discussion area, you can get to engage with people who you know, discuss various issues of law, quite detailed discussions, and broadly, you know, in a wide range of areas of interest. So that's where the discussions are. If we hold events in FLAST, we might we'll publish it in the events area. So if there's a major event of some sort that we have, some of the stuff that we've been involved with in the past is you know, been in terms of improving the family law system and submissions to Parliament. Mishka Hudson is one of our members who is been there from the start, and so she's submitted to Parliament through the Australian Paralegal Foundation, who we're associated with, and she's also part of FLAST, and she's here as a mentor to help people who are going through similar things to what you're going through, especially if you're involved in issues of domestic violence, family violence, issues relating to the best interest of the child. As a mentor, she's fantastic. She's been there, done that, gone through the whole court process. She's highly educated, school teacher with bachelor's in science, and You know, she is a powerhouse of a woman, is all I can say. And you know, her mind is you know, very detailed in her approach. She's so methodical in helping people. So I've always had a very proud association with her. Digest is where what you guys see all the time. This is where we publish the various cases that we examine. You know, so some of the latest posts was parents dispute the child's vaccination. We actually did a video on that one as well, if you want to have a look. Father opposes parenting orders. Applicant contests consent orders. So father opposes final parenting orders. So these are some of the recent cases that we have published. And it was authored originally back in December and only published this week. And the reason it takes longer to publish is because we have a look at the case. We might look at, you know, as many cases as we can, and from those cases we narrow it down, and then we work through which ones make it to be published here, and we try and be as accurate as possible in our review of the case, and we always provide a link to Ausly so you can see the actual case judgment itself. You know, the information that we provide is a digest, a summary, and we try and use a law method in providing the actual analysis. And what I mean by law method is we would use the IRAC approach. So those of you who are listening who are lawyers or law students, the approach that we use is an IRAC approach: issue, applicable law, analysis, and conclusion. So those of you who are in law, you're very familiar with that. Any case, we have the link to the judgment itself, and we have a look at the applicable law in the particular case. We don't use legal citation method here, simply because you've got the link to Ausly there if you want the actual citations. But we do look at the cases that are discussed and, you know, give a little summary as to why that was important in the judgment of this case. So it's really good information in a short digest. So this is where FLAST is appealing not only to people who have family law matters and are going through that process themselves, but it's also appealing to many lawyers, because lawyers are having a look at this as a resource where they get, you know, a daily digest of cases coming out of the family law courts. They can have a look at those digests and say, yep, okay, that's how the court would view this case that I'm dealing with now. And I'm getting a lot of feedback of how handy it is as a resource there. So I'd love to get your feedback. Please give me some comments here and let me know that you appreciate what I'm doing here, and that you enjoy these videos. It does take a lot of my time to do it out of my personal time. Okay, so let's just these are the different digests that we do, and that's why they're FLAST has distributes these digests widely through our social media network, and it reaches, I guess, somewhere between 5,000 and 10,000 people a day with what we publish there. And from all the feedback that we get, people tend to really appreciate the service and the effort that we put into this. As you can imagine, it takes a lot of time to look at find the cases, have a look at which ones are really interesting, take the time to digest them, publish them, edit them, background check sometimes, and there's a bit of work that goes into there. So and we're getting a lot of feedback that is quite positive in that regard. Okay, we have groups. So just like you might have Facebook groups, We have our own mirror image of those, so to speak, or you can create your own. If you join as a member, you can come and create your own group, and it can discuss whatever you want, and it can be on some very specific issues, and you can decide who's in that group, and have a very private area to discuss very specific issues if that's what you'd want. The groups are not censored in any way. These are considered private groups, and the only obvious proviso is admins must be able to see the conversations to make sure that there's nothing unlawful going on there. But beyond that, hands off unless you sort of tag us in or let us know that you want to discuss something. I'll come back to market. Files is where if you're engaging a mediator or a lawyer and you want to send them some information, and you don't want to yet exchange emails with each other, you're not feeling comfortable just yet, but you want to be able to exchange some information, no problem. There's a files area there where you can upload a file, you can make it private that only yourself and the lawyer can receive that, see that, and use it as a resource just to get to know each other and see if you want to exchange emails or things like that. Glossary is a fantastic area. Look, the glossary, I think people who take the time to have a look at this area is just phenomenal. You can pick any subject in here and, allocating a court date or appeals, grounds for appeal and hurdles to overcome. So if you're about to appeal a case, jump in here. Have a look at this. There's all the cases that are relevant in family law matters that we've consistently digested. So over the years that we've been doing these are the main cases that come up in the judgments that the courts rely upon. So if you're going to appeal, you've got to have a look at this page, and all the other issues that might be relevant to your case. It's all available here. All the case law in one little spot. As we go through the cases, we try and, as we're going through new cases that are coming through that we review, we'll have a look at what those cases are and update the relevant glossary. So it really does act as an invaluable resource there. If we go back to the main page now, okay, so we're here back at the main page now, and spaces. This is for territories. For people who are in Victoria and they want to have a discussion that relates somehow more to Victoria, then there's spaces that are created there for state-related matters. So it might be to do with the magistrates' courts and family violence orders and stuff like that. So there's a space there where those kinds of things can be discussed privately in that space. Videos are links to the videos we publish. So we're still updating that. Some of the YouTube videos that I've done already have not even been updated here yet, but we'll be onto that. And the credit system is basically our internal system where you can go in there and have buy credits to engage with people who might be, for example, in the marketplace, which I'm coming back to now, as I said I would before. Now, here you see some of the members. So we have the Lioness Foundation, which I mentioned earlier. We have Hayley Saunders, a health, well-being and yoga coach. We have Sapphire Legal, Gail Lee, absolutely amazing. I could not speak higher of a lawyer than I do of her, but you know, I say that to many lawyers though. So, but she's really fantastic, and what a wonderful person as well. I mean, so easy to talk to, very receptive when you call. Absolutely a lawyer that I'm honored and pleasured to be associated with, because she is just fantastic. And from the people who have joined FLAST that I know, I have suggested that they talk to her. The feedback has always been brilliant. So can't go past Sapphire Legal here. But, you know, the bottom line here, we have Van Beveren lawyers as well. You saw just here. So John Van Beveren out in Geelong, amazing guy as well. You know, so knowledgeable, so knowledgeable is the only way to describe him. You know, he's got the detail there, and the answers that are just off the top of his head. And sometimes I might have a question that I ask him, and boy, he knows his stuff. And I've recommended quite a few people to him, and so far everyone who's gone to him has been giving me great feedback. So, but the point of what I was saying here is they do offer legal services here. You know, binding financial agreements from $27.50, a will for $4.50 here. Essentials, consent orders, $12.50 for consent orders. I mean, that, I know how much work goes into some of these guys. It is a lot of work, and $12.50 is, you know, a fantastic, you know, price for given the amount of time and energy that goes into these, where the lawyers really need to go over the facts and make sure all the information is there. And because once they're registered with the court, they're very hard to change then. So it's really got to be done right, and there's a lot of effort that goes into those. You know, so basically the point I was getting at is we have a credit system where you can purchase credits from FLAST, and with those you can buy services from the various organizations that we're associated with here. And when you purchase through FLAST, we contact them personally and say, here you've purchased this product, and they come as a member of FLAST to you, and we hand everything over to the lawyers then. That's what happens then is there. But what happens on this side is, if the member ever feels dissatisfied for a reason, and that very rarely would happen, but if ever, they can come to FLAST and say, hey, you know, the lawyer's been given this task and there's an issue, or there's something's going wrong. We can also call them on your behalf and say, hey, I'm just following up, how's things going there? And just make sure that there's the communication is there. We're just there to foster that communication. After all, I'm a mediator, so you know, at least I can mediate that. And you know, basically make sure that everything runs smoothly, and it works beautifully, because it means the member gets a higher level of service and has a greater level of satisfaction. And you know, the people that they deal with through FLAST then in future become highly recommended, because how great they are and how fantastic their services are. So look, that's a brief overview of FLAST. Let's just go back to that front page and see if there's anything I missed. Oh, there is one thing. There's, you know, when you join FLAST, it sort of assumes that you want to get notified of posts and stuff like that. There's a settings area. And in that settings area, you can adjust what notifications you get. So we've covered everything here. I think if you click on your name, a menu comes up, and here you've got different profiles. So under me, we have Anon for Justice is one of my profiles. ISLES from the Australian Law Network. They're represented here in FLAST. FLAST itself, the company. The Australian Paralegal Foundation, of which I'm the chairman of. And Australian Mediation Service, which is my business, which is my private mediation practice. And I can even create a new profile. So it allows me to switch between profiles and engage on the FLAST network as any one of these. So where that's relevant is like if you're a law firm, you can have a profile for your law firm, one for yourself personally, and one for other lawyers or other organisations that you're associated with, that you bring on board. So that's where that's relevant. And if we go into settings, what we're going to see here is settings where you can, that's my email address, my personal email address. We have our profiles, payments. If you click in here and you are a member, you can set up your payments, your own payment system here. So you can use PayPal if you want, as an example. Or you can pay with FLAST credits, which is what we recommend. Because then we are involved that you're at least being recommended directly from FLAST. If you pay with another method, then we're not involved in that transaction. And that's not to say that we have any supervisory role, but I think that just there's what I'm feeling from the members and the lawyers that I'm associated with, which I'm so proud to be associated with. There's so many amazing people. And we have Brad Hill up in Queensland, and Brad, he is just like, how do I describe him? He's a fantastic guy, the best bloke. He's a bloke's bloke, and he's such a top guy. And every time I've talked to him, he's welcomed the call, and he's a funny guy. He's got a great sense of humour. And, he's just this wealth of knowledge. He's seriously, knowledgeable in, this space. And, sometimes when I've had questions what I was unsure of, if I call him, boy, you really get, a strong and clearly thought out answer just like that. The guy's knowledge is remarkable, far better than me in that regard. I tell you what, I pick his brain. Let's just put it that way. He doesn't pick mine, and he's great. So in notifications here, let's just go through here. You get to control what notifications you get. So if you find that you're getting too many emails, you can control that. You can, control what information do you want to know. Do you want to get an email if someone mentions you? Or if you get a new friend or a new follower that someone is... that you've tried to befriend, they've accepted, or someone's trying to follow you and you want to know who they are and why. You want to get a notification of that? When someone adds a comment on your content. So you've got control. If you feel that that's too much notifications, you can just turn them off. Just click that and go, don't worry about that, don't worry about that, don't worry about that. And... you can control what notifications you get. So, that's one thing to consider. And the other thing to consider sometimes, which if you have multiple profiles like I do, each profile you have to do that with, right? You have to adjust the settings there. on each profile, because that controls what notifications you get. So just take note of that. And that's basically the overview. And through FLAST, you can get involved with us as an organisation, which is a community of members. The community that you join here is you can join for free, and if you become a paid member, you get to engage as a subscriber to the FLAST service, and there's various levels of service that we provide. So if I click on join here, we have basic membership here, which is $55 a year, and that's recommended as a starting point, and you can always upgrade later. And that gives you access to the FLAST network, able to post discussions and make general... that gives you access to the FLAST network and ability to post questions in discussions, and to make general public timeline posts like you would on Facebook, same sort of thing. But you also engage in discussions, and discussions is a private area that only members get to see. The silver gives you all the basic benefits of the being a member up here. It also gives you access to other areas of the FLAST network, which I'm not going to go into right here. Silver members can have additional profiles, and they're entitled to a direct mentoring and support session. So what that means is if you join as a silver member, I will personally contact you and offer you that service, and we can have a 15-20 minute chat, half an hour chat, and see how things go, and just to see if I can give you a little bit of support in your matter, and give you a little bit of guidance as to what you can do and what your options might be, and that's included in the silver membership. Premium level 990, you get the full access to the FLAST network, and you get also general mentoring. So it means it's not just that one session. You get mentoring throughout your membership, which is the whole year. And unlocks all the features of the FLAST network. But with the general mentoring, it includes providing legal information and support online. So you can get the mentoring and engage with me and ask me questions, and I can have a look at what information I can find on that subject, which should be plentiful in most cases, but given how many cases we cover each day, each year, we've got a wealth of information here, is all I can say. And you can ask a question there, and I'll find some information for you. And when I get a chance, this is not a timed service. If you've got a really important question, let me know it's urgent, and I'll try and respond within a week. Let's not think that this is going to be some rapid response service here, right? It might take me time to have a look at your question, consider it, see what information I can find, and then respond. If it's something more urgent, let me know. And we can, if you need a lawyer to get involved, we've got a bunch of lawyers that work with us that I can sort of lean upon, and who are providing ad hoc legal services. So you can get a free initial consultation and stuff like that, and I can introduce you if that's what you need. So that's all part of that premium service in the FLAST network. Legal professionals, lawyers, and it requires proof of your current practicing certificate if you want to claim to be a lawyer. And you're looking at $120 a year for membership, just as a legal practitioner yourself, privately, not associated directly with a firm. Or you can note in there that you're representing in your profile and stuff like that, but it's your private profile as a lawyer on the FLAST network that we're talking about here. If you're associated with a law firm, you'd want to be registered at $12.90 a year, which basically means that your membership includes the law firm itself as an organization. And as a law firm, if you want to publish your own digests, if you want to publish material about your experiences in the family law matters and contribute to the community that we have here, you're welcome to do that too as a professional premium member. And you can have as many sub-accounts for each of your lawyers, and all of that's all provided at $12.90 per year. Any other professionals, mediators, counselors, psychologists, I don't want to break that up into a long list here. That general genre, let's just call it, which I'm in. So I'm not belittling myself here, but in this other professionals area, basically it's $120 a year for membership, and you can promote your private practice in that space. Other professionals like valuers, actuaries, accountants, court experts, they can register here as well for $120 a year. And advocates and advocacy services as well, they can be represented here if they want to have a voice. So that's our membership levels, and you can just jump in here and subscribe. And once you do, I'll make contact with you, and that's my review of the FLAST network. I hope you find that the network is beneficial and could help you with either as a lawyer to keep up to date with the information that is happening in family law, or as a law student as well. I mean, it's an invaluable resource in that way. If you're a law student, I'll arrange a free membership. Just let me know. But you just got to prove that you're actually enrolled for a law degree. Otherwise, membership is there for anyone in the legal space who wants to get the kind of information that we publish each day, and access to the network, and also be recognised by the network back, because as a community we will recognise the members that we are all part of it. And it's a great team that we have here. The team is all here voluntarily. No one is here in any other way. And some of the members of the organisation who are here might be shareholders in FLAST, and they might be directors, but you can jump in there and have a look. And basically I'd like to sort of welcome you aboard, and hope to see you like and subscribe this video to show me that you're on board, and comment down below if you've got anything to say. If you think that what we do is great, let me know. If there's something about what we do that you don't like, let me know, and I'll try and fix it. We're not here providing a legal service per se. We are here providing information and support services, and we are a community that's comprised of mediators, lawyers, and all sorts of amazing people. So come on and join FLAST now. The current joining fee is like $55 a year as a basic member, so it's not much, and it really helps me maintain this service, because a lot of money goes into it. It's sort of not free to maintain the actual network itself, and to have the staff to read over the court digests and do the editing, and get it to the point that we publish it. There's a lot of work that goes into that, and that's not for free. That's paid, and so I need a little bit of support. If you're liking what we do, and you like the service that we provide, I'm here to show you there's a person behind it, and it's me. And some of you have heard good things about me, I hope, and And if anyone's heard anything bad, let me know. Let me know, and let's have a chat and see where that's at. Because, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I stand here with my head held high and proud, and I think I've been able to provide an excellent service for a lot of people who have really appreciated it. And so far, not to my knowledge that I can recall, I haven't had any complaint. You know, no one's been unhappy, and to the point that not only are they not unhappy, but we remain their members. So we remain part of our community and remain in good contact and friends through the community that we have here. And I welcome you. Come and join us if you're interested in family law and you're interested to learn more about, you know, how the court works and, you know, what's happening at sort of ground zero, and having access to that information as and when it's coming out of the family courts is handy. So come and join me. Welcome. Like, subscribe, join FLAST. Thanks, guys. Cheers.